Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this a brand new day. Hokily smokily. It is sunny outside. I've been to the community center. I've talked to my case manager just to say hi. And it's, while sunny and, warm, wasn't bad. It's supposed to get warmer-ish as the day goes by. And there is some stuff I'd like to get printed down at the library, so I'm planning on going walkies pretty much as soon as I finish with all this here. Part of that, too, is because it is 12:47 right now. All I've done today is take a shower. And I've been up since 7:30. So, hokey smokes, I have not done much at all. Which is one of the things that can happen when you have no job, when you make your own purpose, your own meaning, when you're pursuing your own purposes that don't really connect with the rest of the world. You run the risk of getting that time disconnect from everything else. So you got to be careful, which I try to do. One of the reasons I go over to talk to my community manager, my caseworker over in the community center. So, thumbs up on that. On the other hand, while I don't get much done in the mornings on the days that I take showers and then just being lazy like I am today, I still don't go to bed until at least midnight. So I've still got almost 12 hours to be productive in. Thumbs up for that. Goodness gracious. Even with the omeprazole, I've been having the past couple days more GERD symptoms. Very unpleasant. Don't like it. Last night, though, did kind of suck. It was warm in here. And even when I was trying to go to bed, at midnight, a little early for me, I was starting to get ready. Sitting on the edge of my bed, the fan on over there, blaring. This fan over here, blaring. I've just got a sheet on my bed. I'm just sitting there on the edge of my bed and going, you know what? I think I'm too warm. Because even just trying to sit down on the edge of my bed, that muscle on the inside of my thigh went, oh. And it was like, hey, you calm down. We need to get some sleep. So I went and I turned on the AC. Getting into bed was rough because I had to get as close to the wall as I could, because I had the head of my bed up against the wall. There's very little space in here, so there's very few options. And then so that I could bend my right leg as little as possible. And I bent it maybe at a 20-degree angle quickly and then stretched it out as fast. Didn't hyperextend, that's bouncing backward. Stretched it out as far as it would and pulled the top of my foot back, my toes, toward my head. And after a full 1001, that muscle on the inside of my thigh went, oh, you bent? We better cramp. But I'd already stretched out and was getting ready, and so it went, okay. And then let go. If I hadn't done that, I would have had a hip joint to what would have felt like my toe, but likely just my heel, leg cramp. So that was fun. But then just trying to lie down, once I was laying down, that muscle kept going, oh, should I? Nah. So no matter what movement I made, I had to keep that leg stretched out tight. And it was so cold with the AC on. I put on a towel so it wasn't just my sheet. And even then, I was cold. But that muscle on the inside of my thigh was still going, I'm too warm. Let's cramp. Boy, it's hot. I think I'm going to cramp. So, it's going to be a fun summer. And I finally got to sleep and then woke up this morning. One of the reasons actually I'm moving so slow is not just laziness and choice, is I'm exhausted. But at least I got a little bit of sleep. And I've got my eyelashes here trying to come loose and dangle into my actual eyes. Yay for that. But last night was fun because of that. And by fun, I mean absolutely horrendous. So joy on that too. But good thing I get paid tomorrow, because I, on my shower today, used up the last of my, I have one of these big pump things of soft soap type soap. It's not soft soap, but it is a pump type thing. But it's a body wash, hair wash, face wash, one of those. Does everything but clean your shower and, walk your dog type things. And so I need to buy more of that. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in the future of the United States. Things are bad right now, and they're going to be getting much worse. One of the things is, right now we are, yes, at a crisis. The way they have things set up for the laws with Social Security in the United States here, if it's not fixed right now, it's going to run out of money in 9 years. And the problem is, if it's not fixed right now, it won't be able to be fixed with all of the things happening, with the laws that are set to go into effect, with the way that economics and the government works. It's one of those, either you fix the brakes now before you get onto the highway, or when you're on the highway and you're going 90 miles an hour, it's too late to try and fix those brakes that don't work. So that's good to know that in about 9 years that Social Security will be gone, because I'm almost 63 and I can't think of very many places out there that are going to want to hire a 70-plus-year-old guy. Not for physical labor, when there's a lot of young bucks out there that want to get work done. And I've never been trained to do actual office work. I've never been to actual college aside from technical school and community college. Unfortunately, a lot of the provisions for Americans with any sort of issue, the answer given seems to be, oh, you have this issue. Well, where you live, there is a cemetery just a few blocks away. Have you tried dying? And I don't like that idea. So, leading into more depressing stuff, one thing that I have done is talk with my sister once, briefly, and she laughed but understood, where I said, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I prefaced that and said, I honestly am not sure if I want to die first, or you should die first. Because after having lost my wife, I know how painful it is. You know, I'm not alone in that. Anybody who loses any sort of loved one knows this. That it's awful and painful, and I don't want to inflict that pain on anyone else by kicking off first. So in that fashion, I kind of hope my sister dies first, so that that pain doesn't get inflicted upon her. At the same time, I don't want to feel that pain either. So, at the same time, she's got enough health issues. She's got a pump because she's diabetic. And while diabetes is much easier and better to control now, back when I was doing healthcare, if you were diabetic, it was not if you were going to get an amputation, it was when you were going to get an amputation. And that is thankfully no longer true. We're able to treat it so much better. But still, it is a problem. So she was saying, oh, I'm probably going to die first because of all my issues. But while laughing about it. So, it's a joyous thing. Which, oddly enough, leads into this. Because one of the things that I say when I play the game, paint the town red, in my head, even though I sometimes say it out loud as well while I'm playing. It's when I'm rushing at someone, because there are many attacks you can do in the game. You've got punches, you got a kick, you got swings, you can grab weaponry, you can throw stuff, but the way I play, there's only one attack that a true gentleman uses. The kick. Generally, the only time I don't use a kick is to pull aggro on somebody, to get rid of somebody who's been really irritating, or if I got a boss that I can't take out with a kick. Then I'll take like a sword or a cleaver or something like that and take them out in that fashion. Otherwise, it is the Crimson Boot planting his size 13s in your chest in another unsanctioned killing. Blast your lungs out your back. Thumbs up for that. But yeah, the one thing that I was going to say, given the stuff in the lead up to, was I actually do say, you're about to get isekai'd into your next adventure. Because that's kind of a meme on its own. And I got reminded of the fact that I do that when somebody in comments was talking about how when I was doing the game Grocery Store Simulator, the delivery truck came by and I was standing in front of it and I got caught inside. They're going, oh, you're getting isekai'd by truck cone. And it's like, oh, that's right. I'd forgotten about that. So yeah, so thumbs up. Past that though, I have been trying to live my life inside of this tiny little cracker box and going out for walkies in the heat, in the sun, because while I don't like the heat, in the sun I can, personally give or take, at the same time, I do need the sun, and I do feel better when I go out on walkies in the sun. I can't remember what I was leading up to, or why I was going on to that. Gosh darn it. Again, I love ADHD brain. At least I got 15 minutes into it before ADHD brain really got me. Lovely. So, that being gone, I went and put the things away that I was actually going to talk about. Occasionally, because I got lost on my other thing. I wanted to go on to something else instead of just going arg. Occasionally, I will look up subjects on YouTube, and one of them was there's this one fellow that I cannot remember what his name is, and I've showed off roughly some of the products I've gotten from them. They do cards, and one of them was Axbane's like Infinite Dungeon, something like that. And you can make like at least 53 million dungeons with the cards because they're cards. And the things with a 52 card deck is there are so many combinations that apparently, you know, nobody has ever duplicated another shuffle of anybody else like on the planet, because there's so many, an infinite number. So there's a lot of cards that you can do, but he's also done these other ones that I've showed them off before. I just wanted to re-show them off because it was videos I had been watching on them. He did these other micro dungeons where they have, in a way, you don't really need the cards. They're just for imagination's worth, because each of them just has 6 rooms in them, so you might as well draw a line with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on it, and then just treat those as the rooms in a dungeon. But the cards look nice, and so you can put those in with the other deck to do, well, a near infinite amount of stuff. So that's a cool thing. And I wanted to have the cards over here to show off. Not show off, but to show. And I didn't. So I feel bad about that. My apologies. One thing I did mention, though, the other day was I had been buying these cards, Dungeon Runner, off of Game Crafter. And then I discovered that not all of these were being offered on the Game Crafter, but all of them were being offered on DriveThruRPG. Now, while you can 99.9% of the time just get a PDF of stuff, you can, if it's also offered, get physical stuff. I didn't know these were offered on DriveThruRPG. So when I talked about this a little bit before, when I finally went over there and checked on the prices, they're cheaper on DriveThruRPG than through the Game Crafter. So I'm going to be buying the rest of these on the DriveThruRPG. And the thing is, because they stress that these have their own campaigns and their own adventures, that they're also mix and match. They have 15 adventure decks, 22 in total. But some of the campaigns require decks like a roads deck, which is if you travel from one adventure to another, one deck to another deck, use the roads deck to simulate your travel to it. And others are monsters to use, characters to use, duplicates so that you can have a big enough deck to make your own proper custom deck. So 15 quote-unquote required and 7 where'd I get that? 7 optionals. I, of course, as a completist, am going to slowly work on collecting all of these, just as over the years I have. Here's another thing I can't show you. I've got these big, which I've shown before though, big solo game books by a fellow named Mike Lambo, and they've been offered. You can get them through DriveThru Vault, something like that, or Wargame Vault, which is part of the DriveThruRPG. Well, it's not DriveThruRPG is the head, but there's a big bunch of things, and one of them is Wargame Vault, and you can get the books there in PDF format, or you can get them through Amazon and stuff and get them physical. And I'm like 7 books away from getting all of them through the years that I've been collecting. And it's been like 3 years now, I think. 2 years? I did it for like a year or so before I even went homeless, and then I've been living here for like coming up on a year and a half, so hey. Getting up there. Almost got them all. And of course, call to action, because I've been yammering forever. If you could like, comment, share, subscribe, that'd be very, very cool. And if you're a patron, that is beautiful and awesome. Thumbs up and thank you. You are indeed beautiful and awesome people. I do appreciate your help immeasurably. If you've left me a comment, you too are beautiful and awesome in your own way, and I appreciate every comment that I read. I thumbs up each one I can, and if I can't, I give it a heart, and I answer as many as my nerve compression will let me, which is more than I actually probably should, but less than I would like. And it can take me up to 24 hours to answer a comment, so if you're wanting an answer, keep checking back, and if you're not wanting an answer, I might answer you anyway. So hey, I also play an internet game of Marco listening for the polo, where I call out a secret word in the hopes that you will type it into the comments. 2 reasons: blatant engagement farming, and also I'm listening because it's nice to hear the voice back from the void. And YouTube is a mighty, mighty void. In its own way, of course, it's very good. I use it as television myself. I watch videos for far too long each and every day. But the people that have played last were Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up and thank you. Gus Garrett, 6838, greatly appreciated. Chris Gen X, thumbs up and thank you. Jack Dash 05, Z2J, always good to see you. But of course, I should always be secondary to whatever is happening in anybody's life. I do not demand anybody's attention. I am not trying to grift anybody. Take care of yourselves first. Always. But I am appreciative of your watching, of course. Definitely, don't get me wrong. And I am on the net. Thumbs up and thank you as well. Greatly appreciated. Well, and Hokey Smokes, if you have watched this far, if you could type Sonic into the comments, that would be very, very cool. For, again, those 2 reasons. Blatant engagement farming, and I'm a listening. And it's very cool if you play, and if you don't, well, that's okay too. It's not a requirement. I wouldn't force you even if I had the power to do so. Consent is important, even in something as minor as this. But if you choose to play, thumbs up and thank you. And if not, well, don't worry about it. I didn't mean to waste any of your time there by doing this, but, you know, everybody else. But hey. So yeah, I am going to take care of myself today as best as I can. First by editing, rendering, and uploading. Then by trying to walk to the hospital after library after I upload some stuff to the print center. Because I got a ton of stuff still to print from years back. Life is life. And I'm going to, well, that's going to be part of the walkies, so I don't have to say, and I'm going to go on walkies, because I can't get to the wow, I can English. Because I can't get to the library unless I go on walkies. Why I'm making a W sign with my hand? Dunno. Stemming. I actually do know, but still. Anyway, though, hopefully you're going to take care of yourself today, doing the things that you need to do, and if not, please do not beat yourself up. That will not help you get it done better next time, and you deserve better. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very, very good thing. This is another one of my favorite things. Just sort of link my hands and then do this. Why? I don't know. Again, I know. Stemming. Anyway, though. Yeah. So, gotta click here. And then I'm gonna click over here.